Here's another game from the ice rink. I hope you like senseless violence, cause this game is full of it. It also has some semblance of a plot, as the captain here is about to explain. I'll turn it over to him.
We have a situation down there. Some modern-day pirates have hijacked a huge cruiser. They're holding 2,000 hostages inside, including the president's daughter. We have to invade the ship, clear the pirates, and rescue the hostages, especially the president's daughter.
And that's it. Pirates are after Lady MacGuffin. Kill them all. Cutscene audio balance aside, the attract mode gives you a pretty good idea of what to expect. Beating the hell out of pirates. Sometimes with straight up wrestling moves. I mean, what kind of special force does this? Whack 'em, snap 'em, blast 'em, blow 'em to smithereens. Anything goes, just take 'em down. Sounds fun, let's get started. You got 3 characters to choose from, each with their own movesets, and 3 infiltration points. Whether you parachute in, rappel to the deck, or infiltrate from below, there's a lot of overlap, but plenty to see. And it all starts with the quick and easy fight. These guys may look the part, but they're complete pushovers. You can just mash the buttons and reliably knock them out. If punching and kicking isn't doing enough, you can grab them and go to town. Everyone has a different grapple attack, but Jean's is fucking brutal. Ah! I can feel that from here! You can activate special moves with button combos, but I often just mash the buttons and see what happens. Sometimes as you transition from one scene to another, you'll see some of your allies getting harassed or shot dead. As much as this is supposed to be a big operation, you really are just a one-man army here. Or 2-man if you have a second player. You'd think your allies would be on par since they're all in the same unit, but you can't be a big damn hero if that's the case. And this is not a game that wants to be taken seriously. This is a game where you pick up arcade cabinets and throw them at people. And of course they blow up on impact. And of course the explosion doesn't hurt you any. Who needs pistols and machine guns? Just swing an anchor around at them. Then you get this guy. He's a bit of a wake-up call since he can take more punishment and has a few tricks up his sleeve. But so do you. Like in Xiao 9, you have a special move to break out of attacks at the cost of some health. He can still catch you off guard, especially if you're not careful. But I find that even then, he really doesn't like being shot. If you get into a good rhythm, you can knock him out without taking a scratch. Otherwise, this is where you learn that your clothes get damaged the lower your health gets, but it stops short of full nudity. You can get your health back from first aid kits and food, but not your clothes. Not unless you die and use a continue. Another gimmick worth mentioning is the QuickTime events. Every now and then you'll be prompted to move the joystick or hit a button. Succeed, and you skip the fight, save health, or get an advantage in the fight. Normally skipping gameplay would be counterintuitive, but this is an arcade cabinet. You know they're counting on you spending more than 1 or 2 quarters to beat this. Not having to contend with some of the tougher non-boss enemies in the game is its own reward when you're trying to save health, ammo, and money. Even if all you're doing is remove one enemy from contention, that makes a big difference in the long run. The pistol, machine gun, and hand axe are the only weapons you can carry between levels, and the pistol is great because it lets you instantly neutralize enemies by arresting them. Doesn't matter what kind of gun they're wielding, they'll instantly drop it. You won't get points, but nobody cares about high scores, so you're gonna want to save those bullets for the bosses anyway. The first of which is the Lovebird duo of Captain Gonzalez and Ada Mendoza. They're big, bulky, and can't be arrested. If you know they're coming, you can set yourself up with some real firepower to use against them, and while the bazooka makes a dent, it's not enough. They've got some nasty moves like one tossing the other into the air so they can land on you. It's telegraphed, but hard to avoid either way. Well, lucky for you, this fight always gives you an anti-ship missile to knock a big chunk out of their health, if you have the foresight to save it for the occasion. The explosion is so devastating, the camera focuses on the subsequent mushroom cloud. Meanwhile... Oh god. Well, that's emulators for you. Well, this is more what it's supposed to look like. Hey, remember those 2,000 hostages? I don't think the story does. Doesn't really matter, the ship's going down one way or another. And you're gonna go through a lot of the same rooms and areas getting there. Bruno, Jean, and Eddie are all on different missions, but their paths are gonna overlap a lot. As will the progression. Everyone fights Gonzalez and Mendoza at the same time, but in different locations. Jean and Eddie both end up on the Pirates Island, but Bruno's journey ends where Jean started, at the top of the ship. And every path has quick-time events in the same spots to let you skip fights that would otherwise drain your health, or at least go into the fight with an advantage. So at least the game gives you a fighting chance, right? Well, usually. It certainly feeds into the power trip fantasy when it wants to. Anything you can pick up can be used as a weapon, including the bad guys sometimes. Now that's funny. But then you get these bastards dual-wielding machine guns. Let them get a shot off and bam! Quarter of your health gone. You gotta be relentless against them and not give them an opening, especially if they try to get a burst off before they get back on their feet. It is possible to take them down before they fire a single bullet, but only if you keep the pressure up and focus them down. Sure enough, I managed to do that with Eddie with minimal damage taken. Too bad you can't arrest these bastards, otherwise Jean could have ended the fight then and there. Bruno, meanwhile, is taking no prisoners. I love when I activate these big combos. Sit the fuck down. And if you ask Jean, there is no kill quite like overkill. Holy shit. Don't think anyone facing Eddie is getting off easy either. These are supposed to be tough enemies, but you wouldn't know it watching him. Even when his power meter runs out, he still wipes the floor with them. Make no mistake, it's easy to have a near-death experience with the swordsman, but this is the level where I discovered you can actually eat the food instead of throw it at them to get a little health back. Or you can take the Looney Tunes approach and sprinkle pepper in their face. That always works. But when you escape the restaurant and enter the kitchen, that's when the game really starts trying to push more quarters out of you. Even with free power-up pickups, even with a healthy arsenal of explosives, Alexander the French chef, Jumbo Matsu the Japanese chef, and Master Yang the Chinese chef are almost guaranteed to take a life from you. If you're lucky, you can grab him and slam him onto the ground a few times, but that only gives you a moment's reprieve. Generally, if you haven't died yet, you're going to die here. Usually because you're already hurt from the previous fights. I'm pretty sure this is the first enemy to really start dipping into my limited supply of quarters, and most likely ended my runs on more than one occasion. I don't know what kind of chef needs explosives on his person, but at least you can do the same back to him. If you survive without a continue, you're not going to have a lot of health left. Somehow, Bruno didn't actually take that much damage and even got a health kit, but despite a continue, Jean ended the fight about as healthy as she started. Eddie lost almost his entire life bar during this fight.
Haven't you found her yet? Never mind. It's time.
I think we can give up on those 2,000 hostages. Best case, which I kind of doubt, is the hostages get rescued off-screen, and we focus on finding Lady MacGuffin. Well, better get to it. You get a little breather here with some easier enemies, and it's made easier with access to machine guns. But the very next encounter jumps the difficulty back up, unless you save some ammo. But that doesn't mean it's not easy to die here if you're still low on health. I'm pretty sure I've lost quarters to this encounter. I chalk up my survival playing as Jean to luck more than anything else. Mission 3 paces this part a little differently, but wait, haven't we been here before? Yep, we sure have. And there's a motorcycle back there for some reason. I don't really know why. Heading on the highway, looking for adventure. All you motherfuckers are dead! That was badass. Explosive barrel versus broom, and the barrel wins. Alright, I've had enough of this. Both of you are under arrest. I always loved doing that, and it works on almost all these bad... except them. It does not work on them. Oh look, we're back here again. And the anti-ship missiles are still here, so... that's the end of that fight. After dodging an explosion from a barrel or a rocket, we find ourselves in the engine room where... wait, here again? This is where Eddie fought Gonzalez and Mendoza. Well, that missile launcher is mine. That gunner may be dangerous, but he still doesn't like getting blown up. So how about a bigger explosion? Twice. Will you die already, you stubborn bastard? And that takes care of them. Well, that wasn't such a big deal. So what's... I don't think I can arrest him. Alright, folks, I have to ask. Was this on your bingo card? For some reason, your next boss is a fucking Kraken. I had more questions than answers, But this encounter was actually telegraphed as early as the attract mode, and this is the only fight the demo actually struggles with. Not for lack of trying, this is one tough son of a cephalopod. There are really no safe spots. Wherever you go, he'll send mini Krakens to latch onto you. Go over the side, he'll squirt ink on you. Out in front, he'll try and whack you with a tentacle. Up in his face, he'll grab you and slam you into the ground, or just fling you. He will telegraph that he's about to grab you, but it's not easy getting out of the way. Especially if you're like me and you forget that you can sprint. But you can still use that escape move to break out of it and take less damage. But I didn't know about that back then until much later, and getting in his face is the most reliable way to damage him. I think I was better at avoiding him grabbing me back then, but even with that, good luck taking this guy down without losing a life yourself. There were times when I had no quarters left, so he would grab me, fling me onto the floor, and that was it. One time I knew I was screwed, so I just went up to him and accepted my fate. Might as well die the cool way. Basically, this boss is a shameless quarter muncher. And his introduction in Mission 3 is about as abrupt as this segue. You ascend the stairs and whoa, there's the Kraken, fight him! I can kinda understand him being in the engine room, but what's he doing on the bridge? How about this? He goes to grab me, but then he remembers he ran out of health. Talk about abrupt. Time to get the hell out of here. Shit, 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 shit. Don't think I should be using the elevator, but okay. Next is an auto-scroller where you dodge obstacles and grab health packs. The setting is different in each mission, but the premise is always the same. Except Mission 3, weirdly, that just cuts straight to the island. Eddie has it easy in his next encounter. He's still got his pistol from the Kraken fight, so he can arrest all but one stubborn enemy. Bullets still hurt, go figure. Jean is unarmed, but... well, I think she's getting by just fine, don't you? The game is dialing back the difficulty after that big boss fight. Runo's got his work cut out for him. There's some ghost pirates hanging out in the casino. These are some of the tougher late-game enemies. While they can be arrested, they're durable, they have special moves of their own that you can still break out of, and worst of all, they split into two when you knock them out. And their elite counterparts dual-wield swords or guns that are even tougher. And they can split into two. Great. Then you get to fight some of these big bulky bastards, but they don't pose as much of a threat by this point. Or at least they shouldn't. There goes another life. You don't get this in Mission 2. In Mission 2, you get a couple skippable encounters, and then everyone converges on the same point. Ghost pirates have your captain hostage and you need to go save him. At least you can still kick them in the nuts or get their heads stuck in the wall to take them out of the action for a bit. Stop hitting yourselves! Stop hitting yourselves! Stop hitting yourselves! But the game throws a curveball. Surprise! The hell are you doing?
Stupid fools! Your captain is long dead. He's fish bait by now.
A pirate named Masque de Pedro disguised himself as your captain, and now serves as the penultimate boss. Hope you still have some quarters to spare, cause you're gonna need them. He's got the same health and potency as the Chef and the Kraken, and he's got moves. What's weird though is that his presence is alluded to in Mission 3, where he tricks Lady MacGuffin into following him to Wolf Hongo. But if you don't know about this twist already, it just looks like the captain is a traitor. From a gameplay standpoint, he's just here to make sure you can't easily make it to Wolf Hongo with your health topped off. Not without stuffing in another quarter or two. Well, I don't know what the point of kidnapping Lady MacGuffin was if he was just gonna kill her anyway, but...
So there you are. I've been expecting you. I have changed my body to destroy you. Now, let's have some fun.
To give a little context to what he's saying, now's as good a time as any to mention this game is a sequel. The games began life as Dynamite Deka, which was shoehorned into a Die Hard tie-in for its international release. The sequel is the same thing, but a different setting. Pirates raid a cruise ship and once again kidnap Lady MacGuffin, Caroline Powell if you were wondering, and now you're tasked with putting Wolf Hongo down for good. Easier said than done, this guy's got a straight up unfair moveset. Expect a lot of quick and cheap deaths against this asshole. However many quarters it took you to get this far, expect to double it in this fight alone. But that's just how it goes with these arcade games, really. Daytona USA 2 rings you dry with gameplay that's deceptively hard to master and takes a lot of practice before you can start reliably winning. I don't know how much money I would have spent mastering that game, but it'd be cheaper to just buy a home port, I know that much. But unlike Daytona USA 2, that is an option for Dynamite Cop. There's a Sega Dreamcast port of this game, and a side-by-side comparison shows that they took full advantage of the improved hardware. But I didn't play the Dreamcast version, so I'm keeping it pure with the Model 2 emulator. While you can sometimes get cheap shots on Wolf Hongo, he'll get a lot more cheap shots on you, like when he teleports and shoots from his helmet. The only way to dodge that is get up in his face and hit him before he does it, or use your escape move to avoid it. With enough persistence and quarters, you'll eventually take him down. I remember being overjoyed every time I beat him. I played this game to completion multiple times, so who knows how much of my parents' money I lost to it. But it was time well spent. Now if you're playing with a partner, it ain't over yet. Now you get to fight each other for a special reward from Caroline McGuffin Powell. Is this really necessary? Can't we just rest on our laurels and go home? I remember telling people I didn't want them to join me because I didn't want to have to fight them in the end. I didn't want defeat snatched from the jaws of victory because I lost a fight against my partner. But it doesn't really matter because all three operators are shown alive and well as they leave the ship or island behind. All three endings show Wolf, the island, or both getting blown to smithereens. Overall, it's a fun game with all the usual trappings of an arcade cabinet title. But with the magic of emulators, you won't have to pay a dime. Unless you have a Dreamcast and want to get your hands on a physical copy, but that's another story. Alright, that's the episode. Stay tuned for a very special episode 20.